my name is Kat, and today I am answering a crap load of questions. So, I have a lot of questions to answer. I'm going to start with the first comment and then just work my way up to the most recent. Are there any videos on YouTube you like about writing? The Dan Wells series on structure that I mentioned in the last video, and also videos by Jackson Pierce, and John Green of the Vlogbrothers does the occasional writing related video. Any particular authors? I am assuming that you mean like favorite authors, and my two favorite authors are John Green and Laini Taylor. Both of them are just spectacular at what they do. How exactly did you celebrate your NaNoWriMo victory? Did you just get some extra shots in your coffee? Or did you celebrate with your family? Do they even know? I celebrated my NaNoWriMo victory by sleeping. I got the extra shots in my coffee in order to win NaNoWriMo, and then I passed out. And yes, my family does know that I want to be an author and that I write a lot, and that I participated and won NaNoWriMo, but I don't live with them, so I celebrated on my own with sleep and candy. Act out one of your favorite scenes from your NaNoWriMo story. This is gonna have to be a quick one. Do you even know how to work that thing? Pointy end goes in the bad guy, right? How hard can it be? I'd like to know what software you use when working on your novels. Scrivener? Yes, Scrivener. It is awesome. I also occasionally use OpenOffice for a Word document to keep like separate notes in, but mostly, yes, Scrivener. Also, do you work with music in the background? Yes, most of the time. Sometimes I work with just like normal pop music, rock music, whatever, K-pop music, and sometimes I work with music with no lyrics. More generally, what are your favorite authors / books? Again, John Green and Laini Taylor are my favorite authors. I also love Scott Westerfeld, Libba Bray, Holly Black, Lauren Oliver, Suzanne Collins, Stephanie Perkins. I'm sure I'm missing a lot, but those are some. What are your favorite books of all time? I love the Harry Potter series, I love the Hunger Games series, trilogy, and one more time, books by John Green and Laini Taylor. What are you studying, or what did you study? I am still in school. I'm a part-time student because I'm a slacker. I've changed my major a lot. I used to do English, and then I switched to computers, and now I'm thinking about switching to linguistics, because I would like to study other foreign languages and just language in general. If you could live in any world from a book, where would it be? Hogwarts. Harry Potter, Hogwarts. I just want to go there. Where do you want to be in 5 years? I really just want to have a passport full of stamps and a couple of my books published by then. Those are my dreams. Ho! And are you on Goodreads? Did you just call me a hoe? Just kidding. No, I am not on Goodreads, but everyone keeps telling me to get on Goodreads, so I'm probably going to succumb to the peer pressure and join soon. Do you knit? I know how to knit, very basic stitches, and I know how to crochet. I do it sometimes. I'll go through like phases where I'm like, I'm gonna make a scarf, and then I make a scarf, and then I'm done. What is your favorite food? I love plain white carbs and something cheesy or salty. So pasta and Parmesan, or bread and cheese, or rice and soy sauce. Those things are the foods that I like. Also chocolate. What is your favorite color? Green. I like green. Also pink and black and blue. If you're on Xbox Live, what is your username? I will put it in text below because I don't want to have to spell it out for you, but that's it below. If you want to add me as a friend on Xbox Live, let me know in the message who you are so I don't think you're a creeper and I'm like, why is this person adding me? A look around your apartment would be cool. Is that too nosy? No, it's not too nosy, but my apartment is too messy right now, so I will do that at a later date. What is your Briggs-Myers letters? I am also INFP. That's a little bit weird. What is your opinion on publishing under a different name? I don't know. I think it really depends on the situation and what is best for you personally and your reasons for choosing this name. This is kind of a big subject though, so I will make a video discussing it in further detail at a later date. What is your favorite book you've read this year? This one. Oh my gosh, this one. The Feelings, this one. Where is your favorite place to get coffee? I like Starbucks. I'm just gonna Starbucks. I know it's like corporate and bad and meh, but I like Starbucks. Is your hair naturally curly and you straighten it, or naturally straight? It is naturally kind of frizzy and mildly wavy, and I do straighten it. but I'll show you what it looks like unstrained sometime. What is your BF like? He is a bartender at the restaurant I work at. He does not drink caffeine at all in any form. He is a nerd like me. We play Halo and D&D together, but we also have very different interests. For starters, he's never watched Buffy. I know. What is your favorite book? Probably this one. I love it. Favorite movie? Super Troopers. I can quote that movie. I could probably recreate the script if I had to. Favorite video game? Ooh, this is a hard one. Favorite computer video game? I love Minecraft and World of Warcraft. For console games, I love Zelda and Halo. And for handheld games, I love Pokemon games. Pokemon on DS, I'm all over that. Favorite TV show? No longer on the air? Buffy. Currently on the air? Doctor Who. Do you have any siblings? Yes, I have a younger sister who is 23 and a younger brother who is 21. Are your parents cool? Yeah, they're pretty cool. My dad is kind of an old hippie and my mom is kind of a crazy gypsy, but I mean that in like a kind way. Where were you born? I was born in Oakland, California, even though my parents lived about 3 hours north of there at the time. They just happened to be in the city when I decided it was time to be born. Have you ever been outside the country? I don't even have a passport. Do you want to get married and have kids? Someday. Yeah, sure. Where do you want to eventually live? I really love Northern California. I want to travel lots of places, but I think in the end I will come back here. How much do you typically read? In 2011, I tried to read 100 books in a year and I got to about 80, but this year I've read much less, more like 20, because I was just so busy with school and a lot of school reading and school writing that I didn't get to do much personal reading or writing. School! How much do you spend on books in a year? Probably average somewhere in the neighborhood of $600 a year. This year it's more like $400, but last year it was more like $800. I try to stick to about $50 a month as my book buying budget. Is this too many questions? No, bring it on. What inspired you to write? I've always loved telling stories, and writing them down and sharing like my dreams was just kind of a natural progression from having all these stories and characters and like worlds in my head. What do you think of self-publishing? I think that self-publishing is swiftly becoming a more acceptable thing. There is still a stigma attached to it, and of course it is much easier to find a bad self-published book than a bad traditionally published book, but I think that good books exist across all forms of publishing, and this is another topic I will make a more in-depth video about because I have lots of thoughts about self-publishing. Don't worry, they're mostly good. How did you get started on YouTube? I've watched YouTube videos for years, and then last year I was like debating about starting vlogging, and then on Halloween I was just like, I'm gonna vlog every day for NaNoWriMo. I'm just gonna do it. And then I did it. In high school I took a speech class, and I also took a video editing class. So that's kind of like my background. It was like vlogger training in a way. What are your favorite standalone young adult books? These are two that I especially liked, but this is another topic I will make another video about. Favorite romances in books. I love the romances in Stephanie Perkins books. What is your favorite fizzy drink? I think Americans call it soda. We do call it soda, but I don't really drink soda that much. Coke or Pepsi, whatever the cola is, or Sprite, Sierra Mist, whatever the lemon lime soda is. Those are the only two I really drink, and only rarely. Books that are not so well known but you would like me to recommend to you. I actually have a video planned where I discuss that, so that also will be another video later on in the future. Can I ask what camera you use? You can, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna tell you. Just kidding. I use this one. Would you ever write a novel with a friend? I think I would, but it would have to work out just perfectly. We would have to be like exactly 100% on the same page. I'm not sure if it would work out for me either, but I might try it sometime. Who knows? We'll see. What do you do as a career? I am a part-time waitress, part-time student. How old are you? I am 24 years old and I will be turning 25 in a couple of months. And then I can rent a car because I'm a grown-up. What is your favorite genre? I love young adult fantasy, whether that is epic fantasy or contemporary fantasy. I love me some young adult fantasy. Would you be interested in making writing-related challenges for us? Yes, and in fact that is something I am going to do with my revision videos coming in January. Make a rap including the titles of 20 books. Okay, I'm not going to do this now, but I will do this because this sounds like a really fun, slightly embarrassing thing for me to do. Top 5 favorite books. Daughters Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, White Cat by Holly Black, Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. Ha! I've been vlogging for a few months now and only have 32 subscribers. I love all of them, but of course want more. Just wondering how you went about getting such an active fan base and sub count. Any advice on this topic? Well, the thing is, I vlogged every single day for NaNoWriMo in 2011, and at the end of the month, I had 39 subscribers. When I started vlogging in October again this year, I only had 55 subscribers. I have gained all of these subscribers in like the last 2 months. The main differences are that I got a better quality camera. I feel like the editing of my videos has improved. I reply to all my comments and try to engage my viewers as much as I can. Hey guys, hey, I'm engaging you. Ha. Also, my bookshelf tour is my most viewed video and the one that has gotten me the most subscribers so far, and I think that most of the credit does not go toward me so much as my extremely giant collection of books. Thanks, books! Also, I used the NaNoWriMo tag and I feel like a lot more people were searching for NaNoWriMo related videos this year and came across me. When will we be able to read your awesome novel? Soon, as soon as I can. I'm gonna work really hard and edit it as good as I can, and hopefully as soon as I can manage, it will be available for your reading enjoyment. What is your natural hair color? It's kind of like a medium brown. I actually haven't dyed my hair in about 8 or 9 months right now, so this color coming in at the roots is completely natural. Where are you originally from? I was born and raised in Northern California, always lived here. Would you ever write an adult book? Yes, I actually have several ideas for adult books, and I kind of feel like my NaNoWriMo novel this year was an adult book, or at least a new adult book, because the main character is like 22 years old, and she's not a teenager, and she's not exactly dealing with teenage things, so it's kind of on that border between young adult and adult, which people call new adult. When it is not NaNoWriMo, how long does it take you to write a novel? Since I usually edit as I go when it's not NaNoWriMo, it takes me about 6 months, but at the end of that 6 months, I have like an edited, well-written draft that I can then send to beta readers, critique partners. How did you get into Korea, and do you have any favorite K-pop groups? Well, I was watching a lot of Japanese anime like Full Metal Alchemist, or on High School Host Club, The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, and I really wanted to learn Japanese. So I started studying Japanese a little bit, and I watched a couple of J-dramas, but then I found K-dramas, Korean dramas, and I watched a couple of those and they were just so amazing, and I got really into the culture and what I saw in the videos. And then I found out that the Korean alphabet, Hangul, was a lot easier to learn than a crapload of kanji, so I switched my focus and started studying Korean. My favorite K-pop groups are Big Bang and 2NE1, but I also really love Wonder Girls, Miss A, BAP, SHINee, Girls' Generation, Tiara, and I'm probably missing some really important ones that I can't remember at the moment, but I'll make another video about this too. Are you doing Camp NaNoWriMo? I'm considering it. We'll see what happens. I need more time to like decide. I don't plan that far ahead into the future. What's your religion, if you have one, of course? I was raised Christian, Catholic, but we didn't really go to church that often back then, and I don't go to church anymore. Do you play Xbox or PS3? I play Xbox primarily. I also have a Wii and a PlayStation 2. What tattoos do you have and what do they mean? My tattoos don't really have any deep philosophical meaning. I have this star on my wrist that I got just because I really like the idea and the concept of stars, whether that means like the big giant balls of gas in the sky, or the more like abstract concept of stars, like wishing on a falling star or you can be a star. Next, I got this one. I hope you can see it because I can't see you. It is a Celtic Trinity that I got primarily because I liked the design, but also to kind of celebrate my Irish heritage. Then I got these partially pixelated, partially normal hearts on both of my elbows because I love like digital things and the internet. So it's kind of a blend of traditional and digital, and I really like that. What videos do you plan on making now that NaNoWriMo is over? Lots of videos, some writing related, some book and reading related, book tags, book hauls, other stuff. Lots of videos. I'm gonna keep making videos. Are you planning on trying to publish your new novel? I am, but not in the immediate future. It needs a lot of work before it is ready for other people's eyeballs to see. Do you recommend becoming a caffeine addict? Why or why not? I do not recommend it. I love coffee and I will drink coffee every day, probably for a very long time, but I can't recommend it because that caffeine headache you get when you haven't had caffeine for a while is terrible, and I don't wish that on anyone. And you can totally find other ways to become awake and not rely on caffeine. I don't recommend becoming a caffeine addict, but I don't hate if you make that choice. It's your decision, it's your body, it's not really good for you, but if you want to drink all the caffeine in the world, I will be mad at you because that leaves less for me. But you can have some of it, we'll share. What was your favorite part about NaNoWriMo? Duh, winning! Really my favorite part was winning though, having a complete novel. That was great. Also, vlogging every day was a lot of fun, and I got to meet lots and lots of awesome people, you guys, and it was just a very fun month. What is your process when coming up with a story idea? Whew, this is a big topic. I'm going to make a separate video on it. But basically, I start with a premise, and then I immediately jump into outlining, and I use that to kind of flesh out and guide the idea. If you could only read one book for the rest of your life, what would it be and why? Oh my gosh, what a hard question. But I'm gonna say this one, because the way that Laini Taylor uses language is just, I think it's so lovely and so beautiful. In terms of writing, which author do you gain the most inspiration from? I really admire J.K. Rowling for the massive world and story she told with the Harry Potter series. It is so inspiring. What is your favorite coffee drink? I love, love, love the Starbucks double shot. 5 shots of espresso, a little bit of milk, a little bit of sweetener. It is wonderful and magical. This might be a little bit mean, but if you couldn't have coffee anymore, what would you drink? A little bit mean. That's a lot mean. But I would probably just drink tea, hot chocolate for like warm drinks, and water and juice for cold drinks. I'm not a big soda drinker, so if I couldn't have coffee, I probably would kind of stop drinking caffeine and just switch back to water and maybe alcohol, because I would need that to cope with my lack of coffee. How often do you buy books? Well, for like the last 6 months, I've been kind of on a book buying ban. I only bought a little shipment in July, a little shipment in October, and then the haul I did last month, but the book ban is over, and I got Amazon Prime, and I'm gonna have so many books coming my way the next year. You guys are gonna just be like, how does she do so many book hauls? I don't understand. Where does she get the money for all of these books? Bills, food, books, that's all I spend my money on. What is your favorite type of book? I love young adult fantasy, but I also really love standalone young adult fantasy, which is a rare creature in today's world. How often are you on YouTube? I'm subscribed to just under 200 channels, so I'm on YouTube all the time watching lots of videos. How long did it take you to get your hair that long? About 4 years ago, I cut my hair shoulder length, and that was the last time I really cut it aside from trimming it, so about 4 years. Why did you start reading books? I actually went to this hippie private school for like first, second, and third grade, and they did not want me to read. They actually got really pissed off at my parents for teaching me to read because I felt like my young mind was too underdeveloped to read. And as soon as I heard that school didn't want me to read, well, then I was all about reading, and like, you could not pry books away from me. I was like, school doesn't want me to read? I'm a rebel, so I'm gonna read. And obviously, reading at such a young age was a very bad thing because look what it's done to me. Look at all these books. If only they hadn't taught me to read, I could just be watching Honey Boo Boo like a normal American. How many questions did you get? About 120. What is your history with writing? I talk a little bit more about this in a video on my channel titled The Ghosts of NaNoWriMo's Past, where I talk about novels that I've completed previous to this recent NaNoWriMo. But I have been writing for a very long time. In 5th grade, we had an assignment to write a story and illustrate it. We had like these little blank books that we got to fill out, and it was like my favorite assignment of all time. The teacher kept my book to use as an example for future classrooms because I was just so good. In middle school, I would write little skits for like a talent show thing that we had, and in junior high, I was working on a screenplay after the success of Not Another Teen Movie, Scary Movie. I was writing a sort of parody on soap operas, the general passions of the days of all our young and restless children's lives. How was it that you first fell into the crazy world of fiction writing? I've always had like stories in my head, and I've always been really into daydreaming. Like when I was younger and whenever we had a long car ride, my siblings were like, long car ride, but I was like, yes, I get to stare out the window and daydream for 3 hours. This is gonna be awesome! And so writing down these stories was just a natural progression of having them in my head. Why have you stopped saying you guys? You guys! I still say you guys! You guys! How long does it take you to read a book? I like reading my books all in one sitting, and it usually takes about 3 or 4 hours depending on the book. Why did you start making vlogs? Because I love talking to a camera. I love talking to you guys. You guys! I watched a lot of vlogs. I really like the format of communication via vlog, and I just wanted to give it a go. When did you have your first coffee? I didn't start drinking coffee until I was in high school, probably around 15 or 16 years old. How many coffees do you have a day? 2 or 3. If I have a Starbucks coffee, then it's usually no more than 2. But I have to drink at least 1 cup every single day because I'm physically addicted to caffeine and I get headaches when I don't drink enough. This isn't a question, but yay, Minecraft! As an actual question, do you play on a public server? I play on the Nerdcraft public server, yes. I had this really nice house, but then I didn't log into the server for the month of November because it was NaNoWriMo, and when I logged in earlier this week, my house was gone and now I have to start all over and it's very depressing! What was the most difficult part of NaNoWriMo for you? The most difficult part of NaNoWriMo was probably a little bit after the midpoint when I like fell behind and it was my work week and we were only in the middle and I was like, oh, I have to vlog every day and write every day and I'm working and I'm falling behind and but things got better and I pulled through and I won! Has anyone ever said you look like Lily from How I Met Your Mother? Yes, I have been told on occasion that I look like the actress Allison Hannigan, which I take as a huge compliment, even though she's much prettier than me, but I appreciate it. How would you feel if you were stranded in a place where chocolate and coffee were banned? Well, I would probably start breaking the law and create some sort of underground coffee and chocolate thing, and then I would be rich and also have lots of coffee and chocolate, but I would be breaking the law, but it would be okay, in my opinion, because I need those things. Have you ever been to San Diego Comic-Con? I have not, but I really want to go, and one of my friends just moved down there because she is going to law school in San Diego, and we have tentative plans to attend Comic-Con next year, and I really need to start planning now because I'm gonna make like an epic costume and I don't even know what yet. I'm probably gonna make several costumes and wear a different one on each day because I love costumes. How many times have you dyed your hair? A lot. Probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 times a year for the last 9 years. I've had red hair, really dark black hair, blue hair, brown hair, blonde hair, lots of different colors. What is your favorite song ever? Oh, this is a hard question because I like so many different types of music. And it's probably going to have to be Foreplay/Long Time by Boston. Would you be interested in collaborating with me on a big project? Alas, I am too busy with my own projects and school and work and my own stuff to assist you in any projects at this point in time. My question pertains to the thumbs up that were so prevalent last year. Where have they gone? Right here. Do you get them out of your system off camera? No, that would be weird if I did this all the time in real life. Did they leave with the blue in your hair? Maybe a little bit, even though the blue in my hair is gone because the managers at work demanded it so. I bet if I did this all the time at work, they'd tell me to get rid of that too. But they can't stop me here. Take that, managers! Finally, have you considered a Kickstarter project for any of your novels? I actually have thought a little bit about this, but whenever I think about it, I'm overwhelmed with the fear of what would happen if I had a failed Kickstarter project. But it's definitely something that I have in the back of my mind as a possibility, especially with this novel that I just wrote, because it's not exactly the kind of thing that I feel many traditional publishers will snatch up. You know, it's a new adult novel about NaNoWriMo. It's kind of a blend of contemporary with pop culture references and epic fantasy. It's a little bit weird. It's not going to be anywhere near ready for at least 6 months while I revise it, but at that point a Kickstarter project may become the most viable, best option for me. That is finally all of the questions, or at least most of them. Some were duplicates that I left out because they were duplicates. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you are now enlightened. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in a couple days with a new vlog. Bye!